Well, good morning, guys. Well, at least for me anyway. What are you looking at there on the table? That is a CIVIVI TERAXE, and it's a knife that I have been pleasantly surprised by over the last couple weeks, because when I first did the first day in pockets, I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I have absolutely come around. This thing is a great, great knife. So let's take a look at it from above and show you guys what's going on with it. All right, guys, we're getting around to the final review of the CIVIVI TERAXE, like I said in the intro, and I'm kind of impressed with this knife. I thought I wasn't going to like it, and I have kind of changed my mind. There's still some things about it that I don't like, but we are first things first going to put up a spec sheet. So you can see there with the specs, we are looking at a steel frame lock. So let's go ahead. We'll do some quick size comparisons. So your first knife is going to be the Ferrum Forge Aluris. You can see they're pretty similar in size. Great knife here. This was my knife of the year 2022. So next knife's going to be Benchmade 940. Pretty similar in length. This is a little bit longer in length. So knife that most people are going to have a good point of reference as far as size. And your final knife, as always, is CrazySharp Sebenza Large 21. You can see the Sebenza a little bit longer than the TERAXE. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's talk about this knife, talk about the good stuff, the bad stuff, and everything in between. So first things first, I've carried this knife for about 2 weeks on and off with other stuff in pocket, and I didn't think I was going to like it at first. Pleasantly surprised by how much I do like it. This is a very nice blade shape on this. This is done in Nitro V by CIVIVI. There are no markings on this blade at all whatsoever. So if you're somebody that does not like billboarding, I wanted to get that right out the front. So you got a fairly well-ground Nitro V blade that comes down to kind of a thick behind the edge termination, but Jared has done a good job laying the angle back on that. Nice finish on this, either a very fine stone wash or possibly just a bead blast. You have got flipper tab and thumb stud deployment. That is sore because I stabbed myself in the thumb. I just realized that. As far as handles, you've got steel frame locks with these big cutout areas that are done in G10 that give you a lot of weight reduction. Cutting with this thing screams through stuff. Now, I'm not a fan of Nitro V, but I do have to say that this knife in particular does take a ridiculous edge and cut really well. Nice sharpening choil. It's far enough away from the plunge. You don't have to worry about it in sharpening. Decent jimping. I wish that it was a little bit more bitey, but it's not horrible. It could have been better, but it's not bad. Jimping on the flipper tab is just about perfect to get you deployment traction, but not to the point where you're going to have a hot spot being in there. The feel on this, had this just been straight steel, I think it would have been a lot heavier and it would have been much more slippery. This G10 centerpiece here gives you a good bit of traction. Action on it, once you break past the detent, is just shake shut home. It's not quite drop shut, but it's got really good action. It's got good detent tension on that, so it's got a good snap. So it's got really good action in the open. If you do have to just kind of nudge it home, so be it. Reversible pocket clip on this. And then this cutout is here. It's done really attractively. This is a way to get by. A lot of times you hear me talk about like, oh, when I put the knife in my pocket, it catches. This is a way to get by that because this shortens that transition. It's a lot harder to get material in there. So there was no issue in and out of the pocket with this. And it's an attractive way to do it if you're not going to do it on the inside. As far as ease of carry, it is a little heavier than a lot of other knives because, like I said, it is steel and they didn't do any additional weight reduction other than just this centerpiece. I think they could have milled some of this out in there a little bit more, but then again, that goes in pretty deep. It's just going to be heavy because it is a steel a steel frame lock. And then here they've given you this small little post separate of your standoffs, so you don't have to have a lanyard hole, but you still have a place to put a lanyard. So all that being said, that's really good stuff. It's a beautiful blade shape on that. It's got a really good look. I had said in the original video that it kind of felt unstable in my hand because it comes back and it thins out here. I kind of got past that. After the first couple times I carried it, I'm like, no, that absolutely does feel really good and secure, and it is comfortable while cutting. So with that being said, that's all the good stuff. Let's turn this around, let's flip it around and talk about the couple little negative things I have found. So as with everything, a little bit of bad comes with the good. So like I said, overall, it's a great knife. First things first, it is heavy. I have to admit, it's heavier than a lot of the other knives I carry these days because it's in steel. But that's not a horrible thing. It's not overly heavy. You saw on the spec sheet, you saw the weight, but it is a little heavier than a lot of the other knives I carry. Next thing that I will tell you, I wish that they had put some screws. I've said this before, put some extra screws so that you keep dirt out of this. If you decide you're going to left-hand carry this, if you've already been carrying it, you got dirt and stuff in there that might bind up and gum up the works for the screws. The thumb stud, I wish the thumb stud was just, I don't know, a little sharper. It's okay, but it just feels like, it feels a little slick. I don't know if I maybe have them a little taller, or maybe not round those points off as much. You don't want them super sharp. You don't want it till they're painful, but you also want to have a little bit of tension, or I mean, it's a little bit of traction on those. So they can, they could be a little sharper because sometimes it feels like you're gonna slip. Last thing that I really have, the pocket clip is kind of a hot spot. I'm not a fan of the pocket clip. It stands up here a little bit, like the knife that I did the other day, the Dundee, had a much gentler slope to this, and it didn't feel anywhere near as bad in hand. It's not horrible, but it is a minor hot spot. I do have to say though that lifting it up like that, it's easy in and out of pants pockets. So, there's not a lot bad to be said about it. And, it's not that expensive a knife. It's coming in at, I think if I remember right, Blade HQ 105 for CIVIVI TERAXE here. I'll put a link to it on Blade HQ in the description and a pinned comment. But not at all disappointed in it. It's not in one of my favorite steels, but it held up really well. The problem I've always had with the Nitro V is it's kind of hit or miss with me. I'll get one knife in it, it's great, and another knife I'm like, I'm not such a fan. And it doesn't take quite the tooth. The edge is not as toothy as I want from something like 14C28N, and sometimes like depending on heat treat, M390 and 20CV. So all in all though, it's a really good knife, and I can absolutely tell you I would recommend it all day and twice on Sunday. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, send you out about your day. There you go, guys. It's CIVIVI TERAXE. Like I said in the intro and during the video, I was not sure I was going to like this knife, but it turns out this thing is very comfortable. I like it a lot. Only a couple minor issues. I think, I didn't try it, but I think now that I think about it, I think if I had carried this left-hand carry and flipped that pocket clip, I think that some of the ergo issues with the pocket clip would absolutely have been mitigated. But as far as blade shape and stuff like that, it's good. It's not even one of my favorite steels. It's still held up really well. So CIVIVI apparently is doing a really good heat treat on their Nitro V. So I was pretty happy with it. So there you go, guys. That's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, and make sure you've got the bell icon set to all. Likes are the best thing you guys can do for a channel. I know I said it once already, but likes absolutely help push the channel up the algorithm. Right now, YouTube is really not doing a lot to help out us creators. As a matter of fact, I believe that they're just not showing our videos to people. So with notifications not going out, if you guys hit the bell icon, it helps get that video shared to people that typically wouldn't see it. If you want to support the channel financially, there's a bunch of ways. I have a ton of affiliate links on Amazon down below. Any of the Amazon ones that you see, if you use those just for your general shopping, that would be great. You don't have to pick an item that's on there. You don't have to purchase it. You can just click on something and then search whatever it's looking for, whatever it is you're looking for. So whether it be vitamins or Vitamix, it doesn't matter. Just go in and use that as the way to get in and then search it. Coffee Brain Coffee, 5% off your overall order. Great coffee. Doll Strong knives. Awesome kitchen knives at the price. So there's all my affiliate stuff. If you want to join the memberships, I have a tier-based membership. All the members have access to my gilded server, which is just like Discord. Baseline and premium members are automatically entered into giveaways that I do on the gilded server, and the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series that's here on YouTube behind that paywall. So that's it, guys. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. Not only does it make sure that your comment gets seen, it makes it easier for me to moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. I'll see you in the next video.